responds. More than 15 years inside my own Geographic farm ended up being over 2,200 homes. Yes, a lot. And again, I had a lot of note cards to get done, so we actually did 2,200 cards. And 2,200 cards went out with this little one in here, stuck it in there. We had a label for my return address. We have a permit imprint stamper that we literally just stamped on there, and then a label. I budgeted 4 days for the project. Okay, is this something that is super fast and super quick? At 2,200 note cards? Definitely not. That is a lot of cards, and it does take time. New year, new farm, new marketing campaign. So it's the new year. I just got to the office and I thought I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing this year, step by step. And this way you hopefully get some value out of it and you can decide if this is the right campaign for me. When I mail, I have a few different ways to mail. One of them is EDDM. Another one is bulk mail, which is what we're going to talk about today. And then the third is going through GeoCentral in order for me to get targeted smart mail delivered. So those are my micro campaigns. Okay, so today's campaign is talking about the bulk mail. And one of the things I do have is a ton of these note cards from past clients that I'm supposed to write them to, and then I didn't, or I have extra from owning the business builder box for real estate agent, which helps them with past clients and referral and retention. And one of these things that we decided is create a note card. And this one, by the way, is printed on my office printer, so no robot handwriting it, so you can see it here. Okay, so what it says is a couple things, and we're going to talk about this campaign right here today, so stay tuned. And also the entire strategy behind it. So January 2023, I'm drowning in note cards, right? And I'm like, okay, I have to get them out the door. So first things first is thinking about who am I going to target? And in this case, we opted for a campaign where we don't want to reach everybody in my Geographic farm. So if I don't have to do everybody, okay, everybody is EDDM, EDDM, E for everybody. I don't want to do that one, okay? So this way, I can now decide, okay, do I want to send a card, right, a letter, or do I want to build a mailing list? And one of the things that I decided is I have all these note cards. Let me go ahead and do that. So since it is a DIY, okay, I'm doing it myself, I'm going to use the bulk mailing permit. And with that one, the postage comes down to 0.363 cents for my zip code. Okay, 36 cents to have postage on there. That's almost like half the cost of a stamp. What we're going to do is first up decide who is going to get it. When I looked at it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be mailing to everybody that has been in their house for more than 15 years. Okay, 15. More than 15 years, I decided you're going to get a card, and then we'll see if anybody responds. More than 15 years inside my own Geographic farm ended up being over 2,200 homes. Yes, a lot. And again, I had a lot of note cards to get done, so we actually did 2,200 cards. And 2,200 cards went out with this little one in here, stuck it in there. We had a label for my return address. We have a permit imprint stamper that we literally just stamped on there, and then a label. I budgeted 4 days for the project. Okay, is this something that is super fast and super quick? At 2,200 note cards? Definitely not. That is a lot of cards, and it does take time. I budgeted 4 days. I think we did it in 3, so much better. But the reason I say it is because you have to consider your time versus your money, right? What makes sense for you to use? And because we're currently a little slower on the listings, I think we have 2 coming soon, listings getting prepped and then we have 2 on the market. So it's not like we are like overwhelmed with anything right now, right? We had some more time. So a DIY approach is a great way to utilize some of your time. Remember, if you had to just spend 40 hours a week on real estate, you had the most amazing business. I don't spend nearly that much time on real estate since I also have the hyper-local agent. But if you look at it from a time invested, most agents don't work 8-hour days, okay? Yes, some of us work 18-hour days and some of us just don't. So not generalizing here, but if you really think about the true working on your business, right? Because servicing the business is also something we do, but all right, getting sidetracked. People that have owned their home for 15 more years, 2,200 note cards. We did label it. It took 3 days. Now it's getting dropped off at the post office, and then we're going to actually repeat the campaign again in February. So these targeted micro campaigns are super helpful when it comes to your geographic farming efforts, because you can do them in between. You can do them obviously on a much smaller scale. I could have decided to say 15 years in their home and only 2 stories, or I could have said 15 years and at least 80% equity. I decided against that part. I just did one of them. Again, lots of note cards to get rid of on my end, and we're going to update and see how this campaign is going to go. But let's recap. First up, who is it for? Figure out your audience. Figure out your messaging, okay? What do you want to actually say to them, send them, how you're going to reach them, okay? Put these pieces together, and then here's the important part. Execute. Execute and do. Right now, we just came out of winter break, and I had my 11-year-old help me with that. So you see, you can bring your kids into the business. You can do it while you watch a movie. Again, my farm is really large at this point. You can do it on a much smaller scale, and it's not going to take you 3 days. Okay, we've done those before in a matter of a couple hours. But the fact of the matter is, you need to take charge of what you want your business to look like. If you want to learn more about direct mail and postcards and finding the easy button, let me know. We're having another VIP day coming up that's free to attend. You can drop me VIP below if you want to attend our next mailer boot camp. That one is there. So we've got a bunch of resources that we are more than happy to give you. I have a mission to help more agents get into the direct mail game, and I'm hoping, really hoping, that this might be you this year.